This is the podcast that takes a deeper dive into the alternative marketplace and explores topical issues. Back today on the podcast, Simon French, Chief Economist and Head of Research at Panmure Liberum, and Kallum Pickering, Chief Economist at Peel Hunt.
Go on, Kallum.
If we were thinking about this, say, 2 or 3 months ago, we would be concerned about a significant bout of US inflation, potentially a US recession, more weakness in Europe, probably weakness in China too.
For me, and I think you can pick your geography of how this is playing out, but it's the degree to which institutions matter, because we are seeing challenges to a lot of the institutional framework, not just in economics, but in geopolitics, in society at the moment, be it NATO, be it the independence of the Federal Reserve, the role of the UN. Close to home, we'll maybe come on to this in the UK, the role of the OBR, the Bank of England, in the sort of macroeconomic framework.
Where are we today? The US economy has been more resilient. And this is just a repeated pattern, not just in the US, but that we've seen around the world, a bit less bad than expected. There's a bit of inflation coming through in the US, but probably less than feared. So the Fed is basically on a cutting path.
And at the moment, investors looking at public markets where valuations and indices are very close, if not at all-time highs, and in private markets where valuations are also very extended, it appears like investors have concluded that this erosion, which I think we can all conclude is happening, we can debate the scale and the wisdom of it, but they've concluded it doesn't really matter for growth. And that is something of a decoupling of the consensus of perhaps the last 30, 40 years, where more institutions, more frameworks, more cooperation had been seen as a great enabler of productivity, efficiency and growth.
In China, the situation has surprised to the upside. Trade, especially, has been strong. Domestic economic activity has been okay. A strong desire by policymakers in China just to demonstrate that the US is not able to inflict pain. Of course, you have to be a little bit careful with the data. Europe's where things get a little bit more interesting.
So Callum's done a really good job of going around the world. That wasn't...
To hear more, please like and subscribe to Alternative Thinking from Growth Invest on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. This is a podcast produced for EIS Platforms Limited, trading as Growth Invest. It is not intended to be a financial promotion of any sort and is intended for financial professionals only. Any comments made or opinions expressed in this podcast should not be construed as investment advice or a financial promotion. Startups and early-stage businesses are high-risk investments, and you are unlikely to be protected if something goes wrong. Don't invest unless you're prepared to lose all your money.